Your home should not be a war zone. Especially not in the richest country on planet Earth. See, that's what it seemed like the other night. Friday night, here in my beloved Canton, Mississippi. It sounded like a motherfucking war zone outside. The gunfire was so rapid and so numerous and seemed so close that I put my body across the body of my beloved mother, who's immobile right now, who just fought off death in the hospital, but I was scared that a bullet might penetrate her home and kill her. So I put my body over hers, risking my life, because I thought the shit was right there. It shouldn't be like that. So let's talk about this shit, y'all, in a real motherfucking way. Before we do, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I am your homeboy first, and this is the realest, most entertaining show in the game. Put it on some again. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share button, put all your people on and follow me across all social media platforms. It costs you nothing to do that, so go ahead and do that. It's crazy as hell how life works. For me, at least. On Friday evening, I was coming back from a place called Penn's Fish House here in my beloved Canton, Mississippi. I'm wanting some fish. I rolled out there and got the fish. That's tradition for us and for many people throughout the South to eat fish on Fridays. So I did that. And I'm a thinker, so I was just thinking about the upcoming election and thinking about Trump versus Kamala and why some black men don't fuck with her and why some black men may not fuck with the Democratic Party as a whole. And so I was just thinking about some of the policies and I thought about guns. I'm a gun owner, proud gun owner, and not just handguns. I own an AR-15, one of the guns that they are trying to ban. The Democrats want to ban AR-15s. I oppose that. And so I was just thinking about other men like me, other men within hip hop culture. Man, you listen to a rap song, you won't more than likely hear motherfuckers talk about them owning guns. You know what I'm saying? But then I was like, bruh, that shouldn't stop us though from supporting the ticket. Because Tim Walz says he's a gun owner. Kamala Harris says she's a gun owner. It sounds like what they really just want is more regulation to stop these school shootings and to stop some of the fuck shit like what I heard the other night. And I've heard gunfire on my side of town before. I have, okay? I've heard that. I think the most shots that I've heard on my side of town been something like this, like pow, 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 pow. Like that much. And that seems to stick with me though, you know what I'm saying? That ain't what the fuck I heard the other night. I ain't never heard no shit like that. That shit sounded like I was watching a motherfucking movie. Like As a former U.S. history teacher, I used to show my kids the D-Day scene from Saving Private Ryan, and you hear that constant gunfire and shit. It was sounding like that to an extent. I ain't know what the fuck was going on. So I just went in there and just got over my mama. My mama taught school for over 40 fucking years in this city. My mama goddamn uh 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 has paid off this house. This is her land. She worked all the motherfucking years to pay off a house on some land in the middle of a place that would do that. Like this how crazy shit is for black people. And my mama worked hard enough to be considered in the Mississippi middle class, really in the lower part of the middle class, because she was a teacher for over 40 years. So my mama ain't wealthy at all, but she worked hard enough to be able to pay all the bills. We never went hungry, had clothes all the time. She wasn't on food stamp. You know what I'm talking about? She made it. Uh, but like we in this neighborhood, in this brick house, well kept yard, concrete and driveway in the back leading to the basketball court that my mama had done for me so I could stay my ass at the house. We less than 5 minutes, 3 minutes from numerous projects. Like black middle class people live next to poor black people. You feel me? And don't take this shit as no knock of the poor. What I'm talking about, which I've said before on here, because that's where the gunfire was. It was over there in the project. What I've said before is usually the violence follows the poverty. You solve the poverty, you solve the violence. You solve the poverty and the education, you solve the violence. So that's what I'm saying. It's right there. And it affects everybody. Somebody who bust their ass their whole life to pay off this land, and that's what she's subjected to, because the poverty is not solved and the education is not solved. And something else that's not motherfucking solved? The gun regulation. Cause how the fuck do these young boys get hold of some weapons like that? These switches. Everybody got a motherfucking switch. See, when I go out here on the road as an educational consultant and traveling across the state, that's what I'm hearing from these young boys. We got them. I'm teaching them about civil rights. I'm teaching them about Emmett Till. I'm teaching them about the 3 civil rights workers that got Goodman, Cheney, and Schwerner. I'm teaching them about all this stuff that happened, and they're like, oh, they wouldn't do that today. We got them switches. We got them switches. But these young boys ain't on no Black Panther shit. They ain't got them carrying around these guns for justice. I don't know what was the genesis of the shooting the other night. But if I was a betting man, I bet it was some bullshit. I bet whatever truly sparked it. See, once the beef is on, the shit is on. Once you mad, you mad, and once you defending yourself, you defending yourself. But I'm talking about the genesis of it. I bet it was some bullshit. But ain't nowhere in the hell them youngins should have been able to have no motherfucking weaponry like the shit I heard the other night. And now some gonna say, well, where were the police? We need more police. I told y'all before, the police only come when the killing's done. We don't have a motherfucking police state. We don't have police just stationed everywhere stopping shit. The police gonna investigate and apprehend folks after they do some shit for the most part. And I called the police as I'm over laying on top of my mama. I called the police. And you know what I thought to myself? I thought to myself, they don't make enough money to run into the shit I just heard. They don't make enough money for that shit. Now somebody said, well, that's what they signed up for. They didn't think they were going to the Middle East. They didn't think they were going to that. That shit was crazy. And so then the next day, I look up and I get a notification on my phone. And I'm thinking, it's a breaking news shooting. So my mind immediately went to, they finna talk about my hometown. No, they didn't. Turns out there was a mass shooting in another place I love here in Mississippi, Holmes County, Mississippi, where I taught for 4 years. That place made me a man. I tell people all the time, I got my PhD in people from that place. And that same night, after their homecoming game, they had a mass shooting at an event. See, the media focused on theirs and not ours, because from what I understand, from what I've heard, nobody was hit when it came to ours. But with theirs, 3 people got killed and numerous others got hit. And when I saw the news, the television news pick it up, the owner of this place, they say it was on a trail ride. You know, it's a very rural area up there. So the owner of this place, this trail, said it sounded like automatic fire. Repeating rifle, I think that's what he said. They had them fucking switches again. What does this have to do with this election, first? We need more gun regulation. Most Americans believe we need common sense gun regulation. Fuck what the NRA is talking about, man. Fuck that shit. You know what? They ain't living in these neighborhoods. So I'm talking directly to my brothers out here now. See, they ain't dealing with this shit. And I know we want to be macho and we want to tote our guns and shit like that. And I tote my gun. I tote my 9 every motherfucking well. I tote my 45 with me every motherfucking well. The 45 be on deck and the ride, the 9 be in the pocket. You know what I'm talking about? The shotgun and the AR gonna protect the crib. All that. All that. But I'm responsible. What about them little irresponsible motherfuckers that were out there just letting it fly like that? Hmm? Them young men ain't got no guys, man. And that shit starts early. Oh my God. We can't all of a sudden folks want to hop up. I'm gonna go talk at the school and I'm gonna fuck that shit, man. Y'all better start early with these youngers. I've said it countless times on here. If you gonna be a mentor, start with these youngers, man, kindergarten, 3rd grade, and bring them on up so they can see you, so they have ties to you. Then your opinion will matter. Then maybe when they pissed off, they'll call you and you can talk them down before they go out there and start shooting. Because at this point, when them little motherfuckers out there 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, they out here fucking, they smoking, they drinking, they listening to this fucking drill music. They listen to these rappers in general who be saying dumb shit. And that's not a knock on modern day rap. Rappers forever been saying dumb shit since the start of gangster rap. Been saying dumb ass shit when it comes to violence. About shooting folks for no reason and bust off in the crowd and bust up in your mama crib. Man, shut the fuck up, nigga. And I use that word intentionally right there for my youngest. Because every time these boys using the motherfucking lyrics, man, it's bullets on the other end of that. Real bullets in these hoods on the other end of that. My wife telling me she saw somebody on Facebook talking about they had to duck down in the hallway. They had to get their kids ducking down in the motherfucking hallway, man, because of the gunfire. Hell, there was literally some gunfire right outside of my mother's home a few months ago. And my neighbor, we're talking about the same shit, them having to duck down in the fucking hallway or just duck down in their home. Your home shouldn't be a war zone, man, especially in the richest country in the world. It does not have to be like this. We need gun regulation now, and it needs to be federal for you motherfuckers that's gonna say like Trump, oh, Chicago has some of the strictest gun rules, but they still have the violence. Yeah, because Chicago, the areas of Chicago that have that violence got a lot of motherfucking poverty, got fucked up schools, and since we don't have no federal legislation regulating this shit, motherfuckers be running guns from states that have more laxed gun laws and running them shits right up there. So that's why that shit got to be federal. It has to be federal. And motherfucker talking about closing the Department of Education. I'm gonna talk about that momentarily, but that would contribute to more of this. If you have a dumber society, that's gonna lessen the money they can make, more poverty, more violence. That's gonna just when you ain't getting a proper education, you can't even be analytical and think through the shit that's going on, man. So you just gonna be on social media and keeping up mess, and that shit gonna lead to more violence. Come on, man. So vote accordingly. Vote accordingly. Because your home shouldn't be a war zone. You need to vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, and they need to have a Democratic Congress. Because we need some stricter gun regulations. Because I shouldn't have to risk my life trying to save my mother in her own damn home. And you shouldn't either. Put it on something. The easiest way to support me and my company is to hit that subscribe button and follow me across all social media platforms, okay? If you want more truth, if you want more of that real, it costs you nothing to hit that button. Go ahead and do that for me. I appreciate y'all. One.